Hello, hello. Welcome to another reading with Tarot with Hannah. My name is Hannah, and today we're going to be looking at why do other people admire you? What do they find wonderful and admirable and delightful about you? We're going to dig into all of it. So we have 3 piles today. Pile number 1 is, I believe this is raw citrine. And we have the Cosmic Slumber Tarot. Okay, pile number 2. I'm actually not sure what this one is. I'll have to look it up. But this green stone that's kind of sparkly. And the Lucid Dreams Tarot. And for pile 3, we have Tiger's Eye. And the Gentle Tarot. All right. So what you're going to do is you're going to pick the pile that you feel most drawn to, or the crystal, or the deck. You're going to pick the one that you feel the most drawn to, and then there are timestamps in the description below, so you can click right to your pile, and I'll see you over there. Hi, pile 1. Welcome to your reading about what do other people admire about you. Okay, so if you chose the raw citrine and the Cosmic Slumber Tarot, this is your reading. And we're gonna get into it. So we're gonna start with an energy check per usual. So if these first couple cards I pull, if it sounds like your energy, then that's confirmation that you've chosen the right pile. If it doesn't sound like your energy, maybe try another pile. Never force a message. Only just take what resonates for you and leave the rest. So, okay, let's get into it. So, energy check for pile 1. All right, what is pile 1's current energy? Oh, okay, excuse me. What just happened? Okay, pile 1. Okay, so I have to explain what just happened. So I have my computer on the floor next to me that has like the layout of what's all in the reading typed out on it, and one of my cats like stepped on the keyboard and it started playing a song, and I couldn't figure out where it was coming from at first. They managed to somehow open a new app that started playing the song Lighthouse by Sierra Farrell. So that song might be significant to you. It might be worth looking it up and looking at the lyrics. It's also just a great song. I've been really into Sierra Farrell lately. But yeah, that might be an interesting song. It might hold some kind of meaning to you. But for your tarot card for your energy check, we have the Chariot in reverse, and we're going to clarify each of our tarot cards today with a oracle card as well. So current energy for pile 1. Okay, that's too many. I'm just going to be shuffling all of them on camera today. If I end up feeling like that takes way too long, then I won't do that in the next one, but we'll see. Okay, so your oracle card, to clarify that, is hiding. Okay, so let's talk about this. This is really interesting, actually, considering the song that just came on, Lighthouse, is like about, the lyric is like, could you be a lighthouse? Could you be a lighthouse for my soul? I think those are the lyrics. And so it's talking about, you know, showing your light to other people. And then we have the Chariot in reverse, which when it's upright, it talks a lot about forward movement and like ambition and really kind of charging ahead after your goals and your dreams. And then, but when it's reversed, there's kind of like a stalled energy there, or like maybe it feels like maybe you are like hiding your light. Like maybe you've been in kind of a state lately of feeling kind of insecure or like not your most confident. Maybe something happened recently that kind of knocked your confidence. As you can see, like the person in the oracle card, they're crying, they're like hiding behind their hands. They're clearly upset about something. So maybe something happened recently that kind of put you in this energy. And I'm also being drawn though to, so the Chariot is the number 8, but I'm specifically looking at the 5 symbol there, and that this is 15. So I'm seeing 2 5s, and 5s talk about change, but it can be kind of an uncomfortable change at times. Like 5s often bring in this energy where it's like you almost kind of get like put in a situation that is like if you're in a situation that isn't serving you or isn't for your highest good, like it'll, in order to get you to like make some sort of change or push beyond it, like spirit will like make the situation really uncomfortable. And that can sometimes be how 5s show up. But it also means that if you've been in this energy, just know that you know, we don't have the Wheel of Fortune here, but I'm seeing that image in my head. The Wheel of Fortune, it always changes. So no feeling is permanent. This one is certainly not. And change is coming your way. So just know that right now, if this is your energy and you have been feeling this way, just know that this is not going to feel this way forever. It actually feels like change is coming very soon. And with the Chariot card, that's like, that talks again about really like forceful and like charging ahead. But it feels like maybe there's some healing or some emotional processing that is happening right now, or that needs to happen right now before you're able to kind of like go full ahead. And we will get into, I promise, all the wonderful stuff that people admire about you. This is just the energy check. So if that's your energy and that's how you're feeling, then I'm so glad you're here, because we're about to hype you up so hard. Okay, so I also just wanted to look at the description for the hiding card in this particular deck, which is called the Iris Oracle deck. It says, are we hiding because we are crying, or are we crying because we are hiding? Feeling fragile and emotional can also bring one of the most intense feelings, shame. Why do we need to hide our face? Everyone gets sad, everyone cries, everyone gets vulnerable. There needs to be no shame here. But I understand, because I hide too. Sometimes you just don't want to see anyone or the world around you. Maybe it has all become too much, too loud and too much. It's perfectly fine to hide away in yourself until things feel safe again. Yeah, so, and with the Chariot in reverse too, this feels like kind of an internal energy. So, it feels like whatever kind of like internal processing you're doing right now, you know, you're exactly where you need to be. I know that doesn't always like make it feel better necessarily, but there's no need to, you know, please don't be like hard on yourself about being in this state. Like, this is a normal, natural thing that we all experience. And it doesn't last forever. So I promise you that. Okay, let's get into what other people admire about you. So this next card is going to be a quality you possess that maybe you don't always see in yourself, but that other people really admire about you. And I kind of feel like pile 1 right now, maybe you're not seeing yourself super clearly. Like maybe you're not seeing your positive qualities very much right now. So All right, let's see what comes out. What positive quality or qualities does pile 1 possess that they don't always see, but other people admire in them? Okay, we have the 7 of Cups reversed. Interesting. Okay. And we're going to use the Prism Oracle to clarify that. Oh my gosh, wow, trust. Okay, cool. Okay, so the 7 of Cups, we have it reversed here. And I'm immediately seeing like all of this like bluish purple, which is like the color of the third eye, which talks about our intuition, our intuitive abilities, and just kind of like having like really strong gut feelings where you know like what's right for you. And with the trust here, it's like, I feel like your intuition is like so on point. Like you have an ability to be able to, you might be able to like even see or sense things before they happen, or just like you have a really good judge of character. And like you're very psychic, whether you identify that way or not. You know, there is something that, and this is something that you don't necessarily always see in yourself. So it's like other people pick up on this from you, or other people see this in you, that you actually have like your like radar for like energy and things like that is like spot on. And really that you just need to like trust yourself. The 7 of Cups reverse, when the 7 of Cups is upright, it can be kind of a confused energy, like too many options, too many choices, I don't know which way to go. When it's reversed, to me, a lot of times this is like feeling really laser focused on things and like having a lot of clarity for the direction that you're going in, or you know, all this water here is like, again, just having like a really strong intuitive knowing. There's like a self-trust here and like a trust in the universe. Like maybe you're like a really, like someone who really always tries to look on the bright side of things, a generally kind of an optimistic person, or like you're able to find the silver lining and like trust life a little bit more than other people. At the very least, that seems to be how other people see you, and they really admire this about you. You're a really uplifting person to be around, and also people really trust you. You're a very trustworthy person. They really feel like they can share their feelings and their thoughts with you, and that it's gonna be met with, you know, grace and understanding and love rather than judgment, which is so beautiful. Yeah. I'm also seeing with the 7 of Cups person here, the way they're kind of just like swimming in the thing here, and they're like, their face is sort of like neutral positive. I feel like other people admire in you like this sort of like free-spirited quality, like just kind of going with the flow, or like when life kind of gives you unexpected turns, you have a way of really turning it into like a golden opportunity for yourself, rather than like getting really bogged down and like, oh, I wanted things to go this way. Like, you know, other people see you as someone who kind of is able to bounce back very quickly, is very resilient. Definitely a lot of emotional depth here, a lot of emotional intelligence, being like in touch with your emotions and really being able to navigate them in a way that like other people, I'm just getting like other people like see the way that you navigate things, and they're like, man, like they make that look easy. Or like, I wish that I, you know, had sort of like the poise and the grace of pile 1, like, or I wish I could just let things roll off my back the way that, you know, pile 1 does. And so, you know, again, like this is something that like maybe you don't always see in yourself, but that can be things that are sort of like a like a quiet strength of ours that we don't always recognize as something super obvious in ourselves, but other people see it, you know, plain as day. So beautiful. Okay, cool. Our next little category here. Also, one more thing I'm getting with this is like some sort of like artistic or creative abilities. And you might even like get inspiration from really like interesting things, or like it just kind of like comes to you and people are like, how did you think of that idea? Like, how did you think of that, like to create that or to do it that way? You know, there's like a kind of a creative, I initially was getting like creative inspiration, but I could also see it coming as like, you know, being like a creative problem solver, like coming up with unique solutions to problems. And people are like, oh my gosh, like when pile one is there, we know that we're going to be able to get this done. Like we know we're going to be able to find a solution to this, or I'm going to feel like really emotionally supported, and just like people just love to be in your presence. It just feels, I'm getting a little ahead of myself because the next category is what it feels like to be in your energy. But that is what I'm getting here. Like it just feels like a very comforting, like a salve, almost like a soothing balm. Beautiful. Okay. So yes, the next category then is going to be, it is what it feels like how your energy affects people around you / what it feels like to be in your energy. Okay. What does it feel like to be in pile one's energy, and how does their energy affect people? Oh, okay. Judgment. Wow. So you really wake people up. I mean, you really like, and immediately I'm getting like you give really good advice. But also like just to be in your energy feels like a breath of fresh air. It feels like a wake up call to people. Okay, I'm getting so many things. So the breath of fresh air thing, I mean, that's kind of speaks for itself. It's like, I feel like there's just something, I'm getting like Aquarius energy a little bit, like you see things different in a different way, or like you have kind of like a visionary aspect to you, that people just really admire, and they just love to hear your thoughts on things. Like people might ask you for advice a lot, or maybe you're like the like therapist friend, quote unquote, like hopefully in like a healthy way. But like, yeah, it just feels like you have like hot takes on things, and people hear them and they're like, wait a second, like that pile one is so right, and I never thought of it that way, and like now I can never look at that situation the same. So like the judgment card is like, literally there's like this huge angel who's like blowing a trumpet, and these people are like listening with like rapt attention, and there's also like in this card there's like water coming from the trumpet, so it can talk about like, you know, emotions and intuition and things like that too. And the people are like in the water here, but it's like this sort of reckoning energy, and like a divine calling. Like people feel like you're I feel like in like a gentle way, I don't feel like this is like harsh at all, but I feel like in like a gentle way, like you will kind of call people on their shit a little bit. Like it feels like like a friend who like isn't going to let like just like enable you to like, you know, repeat unhelpful patterns. And like it doesn't, there's so much soft energy here, like it doesn't at all feel to me like harsh or mean. It just really feels like, you know, that friend who like maybe you've been through a lot in your, like for an example, maybe you've had like a lot of like relationship ups and downs or like different relationships and stuff like that, and like you have, you know, like a friend who is like in their first serious relationship and they're kind of going through some ups and downs, and like you can see a pattern clear as day for like what's going on there, and like you in like a loving, gentle way are like, hey, you know, this is kind of what I see happening. Like, you can do whatever you want, of course, but like it doesn't really seem like you're very happy in the relationship, you know, like that kind of energy. Like, you're not going to be like, oh yeah, like hearing things that don't sound super great to you and just kind of like saying nothing about it. Like, you're definitely someone who will like speak up. Also, I'm getting like in situations where like something needs to be said. Like, I feel like you are like the voice of reason, or like you might like really this is like a specific message I'm getting, like have like this is kind of giving me like a whistleblower almost, or like a like really having an issue with like people who are bullies, like, you know, just like being like, I'm not going to like say nothing, like so yeah, I love that. And this is how other people experience you. I feel like other people feel like looked out for by you. Like, this is almost giving like a protective energy. But I also feel like people experience your energy as very divine and like effervescent almost, because the Judgment is such a card of divinity and like really like hearing the call and following it. So I feel like being in your energy also like makes other people feel more like inspired and called to their own passions. Like, they're like, I see pile one, you know, stepping outside the box, and that makes me feel like I can do it too. And yeah. Okay, let's get your Oracle clarifier for that one. Clarified Judgment for pile 3. How do other people feel? Not pile 3, pile 1. For pile 1, how do other people feel in their energy? Oh my god, that's too many. How do other people feel in their energy? Okay. Rhythms in reverse. So it says groundedness, nature, earth. Okay. It came out reverse. So yeah, it's like you really, like, I think I already said this, but like you really wake people up. Like, I feel like when people are in kind of like ruts, like I'm getting like this rhythm is like a routine that isn't working for someone, or like kind of like this like like, you know, like normie kind of view on like how, you know, how we have to be making a living, or, you know, the lifestyle that we have to live because that's like the thing that everyone does, like the nuclear family or whatever it is, you know. It can be anything that is sort of like, it feels like this rhythms thing is sort of like routines that are sort of societal norms, and you kind of come in and really shake up people's worldview. Like, you just have a very different perspective. And people really appreciate that about you. I do think that sometimes it might kind of like maybe rub people the wrong way, or like what's the term, like rock the boat a little bit. But I think for the most part, people appreciate it, and they recognize that like your perspective is really valid, even if it kind of like makes them a little nervous, you know, to be challenged in that way. And I just saw like 2, 3, 4, 5 on the camera timer, which is like just making me think of like continued kind of growth and succession. And it's just like, you are not someone who is willing to like stay the same and like be in like ruts yourself. And so like by like extension or whatever, the people around you kind of pick up on that over time too, and want that same kind of energy for themselves. Like, it's very influential and like trendsetter-y kind of energy. Even if you're not like doing anything like wildly different, I just feel like the way that you live your life has such like a kind of calm, quiet strength about you. And then it's like when you do speak up, it's like you have something really valid to say. Like, people really want to listen to what you have to say. And again, I'm just getting like you're someone that gives really good advice. And like is very wise. There's like a wisdom to you. And yeah, sometimes you're like your wisdom or your hot takes might kind of like throw people for a loop because it's different from what they're comfortable with. But ultimately, I'm getting like they're grateful for that influence your influence in their lives. Yeah, there's so much water energy here. Like, I'm seeing like these and the water drops coming from the trumpet, and then like the crying and the hiding, and then like obviously the Seven of Cups is like all water, and like the water element talks about our emotions, our intuition, our psychic abilities, and kind of like our subconscious as well. And so I feel like you are constantly like unearthing parts of yourself, constantly like learning more about your subconscious and like growing as an individual, and maybe even having like revelations about, you know, yourself or the world around you. And you do that through feeling your emotions. Like, you might like go through periods where you're like, you feel like you're really kind of bogged down in this energy that we had at the beginning, where it's like you just feel so much and so intensely, and it just feels like you're just having to do so much like inner work and like healing and stuff. And then it's like you come out of it this like and it's kind of like, it's a little bit cyclical, but not in a bad way, not in like a repeated pattern or something. It's more just like the cyclical, the way that nature is, you know, like we go through periods where we have to kind of like do this like inner work and like feel things. And if we avoid that, then like that's not going to get us anywhere ultimately. And I'm getting that you're someone who, like, to the degree that you can, like really embraces that, like that is part of being a human, having feelings and needing to feel them and process. And maybe you haven't always felt that way, but I feel like as you've, you know, grown and had more life experience, it just is like, that's the only way through it, you know, is only way to get to the other side is to just feel it and go through it and everything. So but then I feel like, yeah, once you've kind of you really feel like wiser, stronger, you go through like very intense periods of inner growth that I feel like are like, maybe they're so intense because I almost feel like they're like compounded into like a short period of time. Like it's like rapid succession, like rapid personal growth and like soul growth. I do feel like your soul has like experienced many lifetimes. Yeah. And so I feel like you're kind of like, you signed up for a lot when you came to this this lifetime. Okay, cool. Now let's finish out on some messages from your guides. Do I want to do Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna do one tarot card. Messages for pile 1 from their guides. Messages for pile 1 from pile 1's guides. Oh my god, okay. Okay, the 7 of Swords. Interesting. Okay. And your Oracle clarifier for that one. Messages for pile 1. Thank you. Okay. It says, I heal the habit of fear and I embrace the habit of love. Oh my gosh, that is literally insane. I was just doing a meditation before this that was like entirely about this. It was like completely about like release, like how you can't be both in an energy of fear and an energy of love at the same time. And so in order to like embracing an energy of love means also releasing fear. So interesting. Okay, I heal the habit of fear and I embrace the habit of love. And then we have 7 of Swords. So 7 of Swords can talk about like self-sabotaging habits, or just like kind of like I'm specifically getting kind of like your like habits that are like mental habits that are ingrained from like either childhood or like just things in the past that were difficult. And it's like we develop coping strategies and like ways of dealing with those things to get us through those times or to get our needs met in those times. But then ultimately, as we outgrow those situations or we get older, we end up not really needing those strategies anymore, and they become more maladaptive than anything. And so I'm getting that like you're undergoing a period right now of really shedding like old I guess programming, that's the word that's coming to mind, but like old like mindsets and views of the world and views of yourself and views on like how you can be in relationship to others and all of that kinds of stuff. You're really doing kind of like a mass shedding right now, and you might be going through some experiences in your waking life. Especially recently, the astrology has been kind of challenging, that have really kind of triggered you and to unearth like these like deep-seated things that were kind of resting beneath the surface. And that's kind of like the reason why we experience like triggers to our like old wounds and stuff, is because like they are so, if we, it's like an energy thing. So basically, sorry, I just hit the camera. Basically like everything, all of our like emotions and our like experiences and stuff we carry with us in energy, and in order to like release them and like be lighter and move forward on our path in like a higher, more loving energy, essentially the energy of love rather than fear, we have to process those things and fully release them. But we can't do that if we're not like aware fully that they're there. Like we might be aware that bad or traumatic even things have happened to us in the past, but if we never encounter things that like trigger healing around those things, then we just carry that stuff around with us like a physical thing. Like I'm like feeling in my like heart chakra right now, like a bunch of like crud and just like crap that's like stuck in there, you know? And that's what it feels like. It's like, in order to get rid of that, you have to agitate it. You have to, something has to like poke at it in order to kind of bring that to your attention so that you can really face it and process it. And we're not always able, often we're not able to do that processing in the moment when it's happening, because it's so difficult in the moment. And so it sort of gets stored away at a later time. And, you know, healing is not a linear process by any means. And it's, you know, it's not like a one and done sort of fix situation. It happens over time as we're like ready to confront things. So it feels like you are very bravely, might I add, doing a lot of inner work right now. And your spirit guides want me to tell you how proud they are of you. They see you, and they're also with you all the time. They want you to know that too, that you are not alone in this experience, in this process. I'm seeing like these two like angels right here, and I'm almost kind of picturing them like surrounding this person here. Like this is like you with your swords, and you're like, you know, why is the world so bad, you know? And like I'm just trying to protect myself and like keep me away from more bad things. And they're wanting to like let you know that like they are right there with you. They are looking out for you, protecting you, and they are helping you also through this like period of sifting through all this stuff. Some things that can be helpful with this, Reiki is one of them, and you don't have to necessarily, there's a lot of misconceptions about Reiki and like energy healing, but you don't necessarily have to, if it's not feasible for you, like go and like see like a healer and like pay for it. Like there are healers who are on YouTube who do like Reiki for specific things and stuff like that. And you know, it's your personal preference, of course. There's sort of different things that you can get out of it if you go see someone in person or whatever, but there are resources available that are free and like online and accessible too. And that can be just something that like you don't even have to do anything with Reiki or like energy frequencies. You could put on like a heart chakra frequency, things like that. And that is something that just like supports you and like helps kind of chip away at this stuff without you really having to do anything. It's like letting sound healing and like energy and like the earth support you and help you through this process. Yeah, you are really fucking strong, pile one. I just want to say that. And that might even be like, I actually got like a little bit of like a cringe from that when I said that. So like maybe that's like, maybe you're actually like, I don't want to be fucking strong. Like, like I'm fucking tired of it. And I feel you on that for real. That is, honestly, like, I related to a lot of this reading myself, but there's a power that you possess. And I feel like you are on a path to like making a really, really huge difference in the world, maybe even having some kind of like platform, or just really being like a pillar in your community, or something like that, because there's just a lot of like the energy here is like palpable. Like it feels very, very powerful and like extremely like resilient. I'm getting like unstoppable. Like I feel like you're like, I've been through so much, like this isn't going to get, this isn't going to be the thing that takes me down. But I also just want to really encourage like some softness and gentleness and, being really compassionate with yourself. And I'm sending you a lot of love. And yeah, I hope this message was helpful. I hope you got something out of it. If you did, and you want to support the channel, I would so appreciate if you would like the video, comment on the video, subscribe. There's other, ways to support me that I've written in the description. You can go to my website and book a personal reading if you're interested in that. I do astrology readings and tarot readings. And I also do some like written format readings and stuff like that. So yeah, go over there and check that out, readingswithhannah.com. But yeah, you are clearly a powerhouse, pile one. I'm proud of you. I love you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, or night, whenever you're watching this. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hi, pile two. Oh, okay. Immediately got a little ding. Maybe you have like a message coming in soon, or you're hearing back from something soon. Interesting. We'll see. So, pile two, if you chose the green stone guy here, which I found out is called epidote. It's good for clearing your aura and releasing repressed emotions, energy clearing. It's also the stone of increase. If you chose epidote and the Lucid Dreams Tarot, this is your pile. Welcome. We're going to be looking at what do other people admire about you. I'm so excited about this topic. I feel like we all need a little bit of like a mood booster collectively right now, or like a confidence booster. So we're going to look initially at an energy check. So if the energy check aligns with you, then this is your pile. If the energy check does not sound like what you're going through or have gone through recently, you might want to check another pile. And always just take what resonates, leave the rest, never force a reading to resonate. So, okay, let's get into it. All right, Spirit, what is pile two's current energy? Okay, cool. Knight of Cups in reverse. And we're going to be clarifying all of the tarot today with different oracle decks. So this first oracle deck that we're using is the Iris Oracle deck. All right, what is pile two's current energy, Spirit? Thank you. Okay, the gallery of those who came before. Okay. Okay. All right. So we have the Knight of Cups reverse, which says moody, turmoil, avoiding conflict, vanity, disappointments, unrealistic, jealousy. And then we have the gallery of those who came before, which I'm going to read from the book really quick. I love this oracle deck. It's really unique. I love the drawings, how like childlike they are. Okay, so the gallery of those who came before. Children imitate the behaviors they see around them. That is our first introduction to human life. It is no surprise that we look to others' lives and work to compare ourselves. It is rooted in survival techniques. However, this could also create fear and potentially self-esteem issues. Others' success will never be yours. The success that they worked for or were given will always serve them differently than it will serve you. Look to those who inspire you as mentors, but not as a template of how you need to achieve your accolades. Have trust in your path and your ability to make the right decisions and actions to bring yourself to your goals. Okay, immediately, I was getting a message around, I feel like you might be comparing yourself a lot to other people right now, and it might really be having a negative effect on your emotions. Or maybe you know, chicken or the egg. It could be, this Nine of Cups reverse is giving me like kind of being swallowed up in your emotions a little bit right now, which can of course then in turn also lead to feeling you know, insecure and wanting and naturally comparing ourselves up to others more. So whichever is coming first, it doesn't really matter, but it seems to be that is kind of the energy that I'm initially getting. And oh, this is so cute. I didn't even notice like what the actual card is on the gallery of those who came before. So it's this little caterpillar who has a star-shaped head and rainbow body. So cute. Oh my gosh. And I literally just found a little caterpillar on my shirt like before I did this reading. I had come from outside and I had like changed part of my outfit. I had been inside for like almost a half an hour, and then I sat down and noticed there was a caterpillar like on my shirt. And I was like, oh my gosh, what are you doing here, little guy? And so I took him outside. But so I wonder if you're feeling really like far from like your roots right now, or far from like your comfort zone even, or maybe like something is feeling really far out of reach or unattainable right now. So back to the card, like this little caterpillar here is looking up at these pictures of beautiful butterflies that all look different. They all also have star heads and rainbow wings and stuff, but they're all different, kind of like snowflakes, as we know, like they're all beautiful, but they're all unique. And so, you know, it's saying like there might be like a path that you've seen be successful for other people, or like a particular career path that you're pursuing, that, you know, you've seen other people be successful at it. You know that it's possible to do it, but it's like you are kind of in the earlier stages of that journey and that process. And you might just be like, yeah, I'm just getting like a lot of self-doubt and like comparison and like comparing your journey to other people's. Maybe you feel like yours has been longer, maybe it has been. And it's kind of like, you know, why the Knight of Cups in reverse is like, can be kind of like a sulky energy, and like being like, oh, like why, you know, is this so much harder for me than it is for them? And you know, to that, like I say with so much love, because I've been there so many times and we all have, like it's a normal, jealousy is a normal feeling. We all experience it, but it also, what matters is not that we experience it, but how we respond to it. So, you know, rather than kind of like allowing that to really get you, like rather than like staying in that place, kind of looking at, you know, how can I be constructive about this like longing that I'm having for this experience that's different from mine? What can I do to get me closer to my own goals? And recognize that my own path is special and unique, and probably other, you know, people look at me and see that, you know, something that I have that they want, and like that's just life, you know. But what we really need to be doing is focusing on our own path and being present in the moment, and, you know, looking at what is within your control versus what's not. So if that energy sounds like something that you're experiencing right now, then you have found the right pile. And this feels like a pattern so far. I feel like we really needed this little hype up collectively, because pile one also had kind of a tough energy for their current energy. It was different from yours, but it I feel like this reading I've actually been putting off. I've been procrastinating for like a month, and I feel like right now is like when people really needed to hear it. So let's dive in. Okay. So the first card that we're going to pull, or the second card, I guess, is what quality or qualities that other people admire in you, but you don't necessarily always see in yourself. Okay, so Spirit, what's a quality that, you know, other people admire in pile 2, but they don't always see in themselves necessarily? Okay. Okay, we have the Lovers in reverse. And we're gonna use the Prism Oracle to clarify that. What's a quality that other people admire in pile 2? Thank you. Ghost. Okay. Interesting. All right, so the Lovers in reverse. Self-love, imbalance, disharmony, breakup, arguments, discord, bad choices, conflict, detachment, indecision. And then we have Ghost. Okay, let me kind of sit with this for a second here. Okay, so the first thing that I'm getting is that other people see you as like kind of a master of like when you recognize that something is, or someone is like negatively affecting your energy or is like problematic in your life, you are able to like sever that cord so quickly, like, and like easily, I'm hearing, even though like it might not feel that way to you because this is something that other people see and admire in you, but like you don't necessarily see always in yourself. And so it might not feel easy to you necessarily, but like other people see that as like a huge strength of yours and something that they admire and like wish that they could do more. So it's like having the strength to walk away from situations that even though they're in our comfort zone, like maybe you've been at a job for a while and like it would be easier to just stay, but it's not making you happy. Like your ability to just like walk away from that and like fully like leave it in the past is something that people really admire about you. They find it really brave and inspiring. And specifically with the Lovers here, I'm getting like, you know, relationships where like if you're feeling like a relationship is imbalanced, like you have developed such, and I did hear the word developed, so maybe this isn't something that like always came naturally to you and you've really had to hone this over time, but like you have developed such a high level of self-respect that you are not willing to stay in situations or relationships, romantic or otherwise, that aren't, you know, giving you the same respect that you deserve and that you know, hold the regard that you hold yourself in. Even if you love someone, even if you care for them, it's like it's not worth me. I feel like I'm not living in alignment with my values if I stay in this situation. So that is one thing that I'm getting from this combo. I think another thing is your ability to really glean things from the past. Like you're very introspective and you really look for the lesson or what's to be learned in situations, so that you don't, you know, continue repeating patterns and so that you can continue to grow. And that's something that people really admire about you. You know, I think that like for people who for a lot of people find that really challenging. Like a lot of people don't, well, I'm getting two different directions. Like one, a lot of people find it really, really challenging to, you know, leave behind, you know, the comfort zone, even when it's not making them happy. And then also, you know, a lot of people really struggle with really looking within and being like, okay, how am I sort of contributing to this pattern? And what do I need to change in order to not repeat it in the future? Because of course it's hard to look at ourselves, but the Lovers talks about mirroring. It talks about looking in the mirror and developing self-love, and you can't achieve true self-love without really meeting yourself and, you know, really kind of breaking down the ego and getting to know who you are at your core, shadow and all. And I feel like you're someone who's really put in the work and done a lot of like inner work and introspection around that. And you might also be, this is like a really specific message, might not be for everyone. The Ghost card, I'm getting like, you might have like a really strong like intuitive abilities, or like you might even like be a medium of some kind or things like that. Again, don't take that if it doesn't resonate, and if that doesn't resonate, like that doesn't mean the rest of the reading's not yours. That's super specific. But yeah, like that is, I feel like you are really committed to yourself and the path of understanding yourself, and how that, you know, then in turn influences your relationships. And people really admire this about you. People really look up to you in this regard. And I wonder, because this isn't something you necessarily see about yourself, I wonder if you kind of like, you might be someone who like uses like humor to deflect a little bit, or be like, oh, you know, like I'm not that, like, oh no, like no, I'm not that great, or like I'm not, you know, I'm, you know, just I'm just a girl. Like that kind of energy is what I'm getting a little bit, like I don't know. But like other people really see this like power in you because of your willingness and your ability to confront yourself and your shadow and your subconscious. And it really has given you this incredible like self-awareness that, yeah, other people, I'm also getting like they like learn from you in that regard. Like other, you know, the people around you see the way that you kind of handle those situations and interact with them, and it influences them to want to do the same. So that's very cool. Pile 2. Okay, let's get into next water. Okay, oh my gosh, unrelated, both my cats are like laying next to me in the sun right now, and it's the cutest thing in the entire world. I just saw 1818 on the clock. I don't know if that's significant for anyone. Okay, so the next card is it is what it feels like to be in your energy, how other people feel when they're with you, and like how you influence, yes, how your energy affects the people around you, and what it feels like to be in your energy. So, okay, what does it feel like to be in pile 2's energy? Oh my gosh, that came out so fast. So you have like an immediate impact on people. 10 of Wands, interesting. Okay. I also saw the Ace of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Oh. What does it feel like to be in pile 2's energy? What does it feel like to be around pile 2? Oh my god. Okay. Oh, that's so sweet. Okay, hold on. It's a lot of cards. No way. This is crazy. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, so first of all, oh, there's so many cards that just came out. Okay. So we have the 10 of Wands, which it says too many burdens, extra responsibilities, efforting, stress and exhaustion, duty, obligation, burning out, struggles. And then we have acknowledgement, seeing, knowing, acceptance. And then seeing differently, uniqueness, roles, variation. This is so fascinating. Okay, first of all, oh my God, I'm getting so many things. Okay, we also got on the side, unravel, puzzle, conundrum, solution. So this is like, oh my God, okay. Okay, first of all, what I want to say is the fact that these two both came out and they both have the word seeing on them, people feel so seen in your presence. They really feel like you, like both of these are like staring straight, like I feel like they're staring straight into my soul. Like they're like, you really give people your undivided attention when you're with them. It feels so good to be in your presence because it makes people feel, you make people feel really connected to you, really seen, really known and accepted for who they are. Even if they're like this came out in reverse, like I'm getting specifically like people who feel like they're kind of like outcasted or like, you know, black sheep, or they're just different in some way. Like you make them feel so safe and accepted and like they can just be themselves. And maybe this is because you lead by example. Like I was getting with the owl here, like the owl looks like so wise and like regal, like a leader, like an elder even. And it's like I feel like you are like, maybe you have kind of like an eccentric side that might like puzzle people a little bit. Like they're like, this girl has like a cat in her hair. Like maybe you're like a little bit of an oddball, or like you see things kind of differently than a lot of people. Or like also she's got like cat's cradle, which like I used to do when I was a kid. It was so fun. Like I feel like maybe you're like really in touch with your inner child, or like you just like really prioritize like play and creativity. And like people in a world where like people want us to just be like workhorses, like that is not always something that people really get. Or it might be something that people have even like told you like, oh, like you need to like grow up, or you need to like be more serious or whatever. But you're like, no, actually I don't. I'm my own authority and I can do whatever the fuck I want. So period. With the 10 of Wands here, I feel like you make people feel like you like lighten the load just by being there. Like you don't have to necessarily do anything actively to like help a situation or whatever, but just your presence feels like you are lightening people's load. Like you are making people feel less stressed, exhausted, you know, less burnt out, whatever, you know, like you really make people feel like, I'm also getting like you make people feel like they can put down that, because so the 10 of Wands is like she's carrying all of these wands and they're really, really heavy and it's exhausting, and she's been carrying them forever and she just keeps having to pick up new ones, and it's just like, oh my God, I'm exhausted. So it's like something about maybe like your life philosophy, or just the way that you like lead your life, or your energy even, makes people feel like they don't have to try so hard, whether that's like to fit in or whatever. It's like you make people feel comfortable like putting some of the load down and just like enjoying themselves and embracing a sense of ease. And I feel like you're like teaching people like a different kind of like way of doing life, that is like very contradictory to like the grind hustle kind of culture. Like I feel like that is just like not you. Like you're just like, I don't dream of labor. Like I'm not, like I want to like enjoy myself, and I want to have my creative outlets. And I'm definitely getting that you're very creative, like with the art over here and the Knight of Cups. That's a super creative energy, super artistic, and you know, definitely you could even be like theatrical in some way or whatever. But Yeah, I feel like you kind of march to the beat of your own drum, and it is very freeing for people, because you're just very non-judgmental, and people really feel like, you know, they can kind of take a page out of your book, and it's inspiring for other people. Yeah, okay. We're gonna end on getting some messages from your guides. So, Spirit, what do you want to tell? Oh my God, pile 2. Okay. 8 of Cups in reverse. What do you want to tell pile 2? Okay. All right, so we have the 8 of Cups in reverse, and we have my ability to receive is measured by how much I practice good feeling thoughts. The 8 of Cups in reverse says, fully learning from the past, returning home, aimlessness, staying in a bad situation, avoidance, fear of change. Okay, so connecting this kind of back to the energy we had at the beginning, it feels like the thoughts that you're telling yourself, or like the thought loops thought habits that you have, might be really kind of making things harder for you than necessary. And it obviously, like, of course it is hard to change our thought patterns that are very ingrained, but it is possible. One like thing that might be helpful to look into, or maybe you have experience with this, is cognitive behavioral therapy. Specifically is designed to alter our like negative thought patterns, and also like the kind of behaviors that connect to those thought patterns. So if that is something that resonates with you, it might be worth looking into. There's even like books online or wherever. It doesn't have to be, it can be wherever. There's even like workbooks. You can look up like CBT workbooks and stuff if like you know, therapy isn't something that is accessible to you right now or whatever. But there's lots of ways. There's even like free apps and stuff. Like there's all kinds of CBT resources out there. That might be something that's helpful for you. Yeah, I'm getting like, I feel like you're on the cusp of moving into like a different energy where you're kind of leaving this comparison mode, self-doubt behind. But there's some kind of like internal mental changes that have to come in order for you to like sustain that better feeling period. And like it says, my ability to receive is measured by how much I practice good feeling thoughts. So like affirmations might be really helpful for you. Like I love how like the phrase good feeling thoughts, like that just like really distills it down to like, you know, what thoughts make me feel good and what thoughts make me feel bad, and ultimately they're just thoughts, you know. And you know, obviously if those thoughts are rooted in like trauma or things that are a little bit deeper than just like your average fears and self-doubts and comparisons, then I definitely encourage you to seek support around that, professional support. There is healing possible and available, and you deserve that. You deserve to feel good, and your guides really want you to know that like it is possible, and like this feeling that you're in right now is not going to last forever. But whatever you can do, I think, to kind of tackle the mind, maybe even also like getting into the body more, that can be really helpful. When we're up in our mind, it can it can be hard to like get out of the mind through means of the mind. So like whatever like is grounding for you, you know, exercise, being in nature, being in the presence of people who make you feel really like connected and seen, those kinds of things can all be super, super helpful. Okay, I want to get one more for you, pile 2. One more for pile 2, please. Come on. One more for pile 2, please. Oh my god. I was literally about to say, I'm always afraid when I'm shuffling that a card's gonna like fly on top of the candle and like light on fire. It didn't do that, but it did fly across the room. Okay, it says, I am patient, knowing that whatever is of the highest good is coming to me. Okay, so first of all, good things are coming to you. That is the most important message from this card. Good things are coming to you. That is an inevitability. I want you to know that. And maybe right now it feels like I can't really see those things in my 3D reality. So it's like, it can be hard to feel patient when, you know, we have an idea in our mind of when we would like things to happen. But I think, right now it's really important in whatever way you can to really embrace the journey, which is so annoying to hear. I understand that. I actually just thought of a song. Oh my gosh, what is it called? It's, hang on, I'm gonna look it up really quick. Okay, the song is called Fault Line by Sophie Holohan. Yeah, and there's a lyric in it where she says, she's like, the upside of meantime, what if I'm meant to be finding solace in the in-between? So I came across that song over the summer when I was going through like a major personal journey around like having to release timeline expectations and like things that I wanted to be happening that weren't happening yet, and I was really aggravated with my like present reality at the time because I was just living in my future in my head all the time, and I just saw 444 on the camera timer, and it was, I was in the park one day listening to that song, and I had added it to a playlist, but I had not heard that specific line before I added it to the playlist, and then it came on, and I heard that line, and I immediately just like burst into tears. So I was like, oh my gosh, like I just needed to hear that so bad, and it was like still kind of uncomfortable for me to hear because I think, you know, it's so normal for us as humans to, you know, want the things that we want right now, and it can feel hard, especially when you're used to kind of like putting your worth into like feeling a particular kind of success or like whatever, you know, being very attached to particular outcomes and being like, I need that to happen in order to feel good. And I think that I also just saw 555 on the camera. I think they're really wanting you to look for ways in your reality right now where you can feel joy and feel connection and feel sweetness and gentleness and just good things. Because, you know, otherwise it's like we're always kind of seeking things that are beyond our grasp, you know, and ultimately everything just starts to feel better, and we're also more aligned with our manifestations when we're already in a state of feeling like we're receiving and we're experiencing good things, even when we're not like at our exact desired reality yet. So yes, okay, I think that's all I have for you today, Pile 2. Thank you so much for listening. These ended up being a little bit longer than I thought they were going to be, but that's okay. If you enjoyed it, if it resonated, I would so appreciate if you could like the video, comment on the video, let me know how it resonated, subscribe to the channel. If you want to book a personal reading with me, you can do that through my website at readingswithhannah.com. And you can also find me on Instagram at astrologywithhannah, and there's some other ways to support me in the description. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I'm sending you so much love. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hi, Pile 3. Hello. How are my Pile 3s? Hope you guys are thriving. Okay, we are going to be looking at what other people admire about you. And it's going to be awesome. It's going to be a little hype session. So if you chose the Tiger's Eye, sorry, the sun is like really coming in hot, in my window right now. So everything's sort of shiny, but if you chose the Tiger's Eye or the Gentle Tarot, this is your pile. Welcome. And we are going to start off with an energy check. So if the energy sounds like you, then congratulations, you found your pile. If it does not sound like you or something that you've experienced recently, I would maybe check out another pile, see if there's another one here for you today. And never, try to force a message or try to make something resonate if it doesn't. Readings should always make you feel, more clear and like they've given you clarity rather than confusion or anxiety. So yeah, okay, let's get into it. I'm already feeling a little bit like foggy mentally, which is interesting. I wasn't really feeling that in the other two groups. So I wonder if you've been experiencing that recently, or like it was just kind of like it was hard to get my words out a little bit. It took a little extra effort. So we'll see if that shows up in the cards. Okay. All right. For my pile 3s. Okay, Spirit, what is the current energy of pile 3? Current energy for pile 3. Okay. Oh my gosh, shut up. Literally shut up. That's so crazy. Oh my god, and I just saw 222 on the camera timer. This is insane. Pile 3. Oh my god, my words. You got the Ace of Swords in reverse. This is literally like lacking mental clarity, feeling confused about the way forward. When the Ace of Swords is upright, it's like feeling like you know exactly what to do, like you know what you want to say, you know the way forward, you feel super clear. When it's reversed, it's like, it's kind of muddled energy. Like it's sort of like, I'm not really sure, what the way forward is or what I want to be doing or etc. We're going to get, for all of our tarot cards today, we're going to get Oracle clarifiers. So let's get a clarifier for that from the Iris deck. I love this deck. It's really fun. All the drawings look like they're little like hand-drawn pictures, which I think is super cute. Okay. Spirit, please clarify the Ace of Swords in reverse for pile 3. Okay, inside looking out. Okay, I'm gonna read from the little oracle book on this one, see what it says. Inside looking out. Okay. It says, it might feel like you're missing out on all the action happening around you. Think of this as a period of in utero. You are safe within the womb that surrounds you, absorbing nutrients. This might be a formative time for the greatness to come. I know it's hard to feel separated, loneliness is hard, But if you are able to take advantage of this, when you re-enter the world, you will be full of life force and brilliance. When you have the urge to mope, try to redirect your attention to something productive, even if it's just thinking a positive thought. Or look at the world around you as an observer. You may be in this place because you need to look at life from an objective view. Interesting. Okay. I am getting initially, with the Ace of Swords reversed and the description from that card, yeah, there might be like a perspective shift that is needed. And I just saw 444 on the camera timer. So if you're feeling like you're going through a period where like you're not really sure about the way forward, and maybe you are feeling like, you know, everybody else has stuff going on around me, but I don't really feel like I have things going on, like things are kind of feeling stagnant right now, or like, you know, I'm just not really sure of what changes I need to make, or, you know, what I want things to look like, or how to get to the point where I want things, where things are the way I want them to be, you know, whatever it is. It feels like you are in this period because there's like a perspective shift that is needed. Like you have to, Spirit wants you to see something differently, which, believe me, I know is super frustrating to hear, but that it's giving me like Hanged Man energy, like being in kind of a state of stillness, or like nothing really happening, because there's like some reflection and like a pause that needs to be taken before things can move forward, so that when you do move forward, you have stronger footing, if that makes sense. So, but it feels like maybe you're feeling kind of bored, or just kind of unclear on like what the, like, even like the near future looks like right now. So if that is your energy right now, pile 3, then you have found the right pile, and we are about to hype you the hell up. So get ready. We're gonna look at what people admire about you, what it feels like to be in your energy, the effect you have on other people, and also we're gonna get some messages from your guides at the very end. So strap in, let's go. Okay, so, up first is, what is a quality or qualities that other people see in you that you don't necessarily always see in yourself? So what do people admire about pile 3 that they don't necessarily always see in themselves? What do people admire about pile 3? Thank you. No way, the Tower. Okay, interesting. You shake shit up, basically. Let's get our Oracle clarifier. Okay, we're gonna do the Prism Oracle for our Oracle clarifier. What do people admire? Whoa, what a combo. Oh my god, okay. So you have the Fear card, and then we also have Passion at the bottom of the deck. Holy smokes, pile 3, who are you? People really admire about you how you just are fearless. And this is, okay, so as I'm describing this is something that you don't necessarily always see in yourself. So maybe to you, it doesn't always feel like you're fearless, but what I'm getting is that like, you're the type of person who, even if you are feeling fear and anxiety, like, first of all, you come across as a badass. Like, people really perceive you as fearless. But also, like, you're the type of person where even if you're feeling that way, you're gonna face the fear and do it anyway. You're not gonna allow your fears and anxieties to hold you back from things that you know you're meant for, or that you really want to try, or things like that. So there's this very powerful energy here with the Fear and the Tower. They're both very scorpionic energy, so maybe you have Scorpio placements, or like 8th house placements, or like a significant Pluto placement. Doesn't have to be, but that is kind of the energy that I'm getting. It's like your ability to also like transmute negative situations or like hard situations into personal power is extremely strong. Like you are very skilled at this. You almost do it naturally. Like it's almost like your body composition. Like your energy just does that. And I also get that you transmute a lot of energy in your environment too. Like you really have this ability to enter, like I'm hearing crisis situations and like be like a real, like a rock in the storm, or like is that the same? I don't know, but being like steady in the storm, like being a rock for people, being like, you're very dependable in those situations. I do feel like, I don't know if this is because you've been through a lot and you've really just managed to again turn this into like personal power, or if this is just like an energy that you emanate, but people really feel this. You might actually like intimidate some people, a lot of people I'm hearing, because you just have this very like solid like power that, yeah, I'm getting like emanates from you. Like your energy speaks before you do, kind of thing. Very interesting. Yeah, I want to read the little description. If I can find the book. There's the book. Okay. For fear here, because I know that I like it. Okay, here we go. It says, this card is a call to summon the courage to face your fears while honoring them at the same time. Moments like these are often the most definitive in life and act as the greatest teachers and catalysts for positive change. What is it? I just saw 11:22 on the clock. What is it that's holding you back? Why are you afraid? Sitting with these questions will help you tap into your power and greatest potential. Acknowledging and moving past your fears can bring you into greater sense of alignment with yourself and the world around you. So yeah, there's just like a real like ability to overcome that other people really admire about you. They really look up to you, and they just see like a very strong, very like I'm hearing ambitious, but it's like not necessarily in like the traditional meaning of the word. Like it's just like there's this energy that like nothing, not even your fears, not your mind, whatever, is going to stop you from continuing on like the path that you know you're supposed to be on, whatever that is. Yeah. This might be a really specific message, but you might also like be someone who is like you might be really good at like counseling people in like grief or like situations of loss, because it just feels like you have experienced a lot of that yourself potentially. And there's just like a wisdom that you carry because of it. Like I feel like you have a really profound understanding of like life and loss and like even like what happens when we die potentially, things like that. Interesting. That again, that might be just a specific message for one person or a couple people, but yeah, interesting. Yeah, wow, very powerful Pile 3. Okay. Let's next look at what does it feel like to be in your energy? What effect does your energy have on other people? Okay, Spirit, what does it feel like to be in the energy of Pile 3? Not super sure about how that one came out. What does it feel like to be in the energy of Pile 3? Thank you. Whoa, okay. Baddie. The Emperor, okay. Okay, I'm getting, specifically, like, there's definitely an intimidation factor for some people around you, and also, like, some people find that really attractive, like, you being, like, very in your power, and, like, being, like, it's kind of like boss energy, like, daddy kind of energy, like, whatever gender you are, doesn't matter, but, like, I did hear something in my mind that I'm not gonna say out loud, but it was, I just feel like for some people that is like, they're like, okay, Pile 3, like, that's pretty attractive. So let's clarify that. What does it feel like to be in the presence of Pile 3? Okay. Okay, we have Waiting in reverse, which says alertness, preparation, and watchfulness. The two cute little owls. Okay. Okay, so, let me think about this for a second. You make people want to take action. Like, the Emperor is very action oriented. The Emperor is a leader. It's yeah, like it's the divine masculine, which masculine energy is really just about, like, taking action versus, like, with the waiting, which is receptive, and it's the waiting came out in reverse. So it's like literally like taking action, and like, so maybe that's like something in the way that you carry yourself. Maybe you are very, like, dynamic. We did hear that word ambitious earlier, and that is kind of the Emperor energy. It's like you really have this, like, gusto for life and for your dreams, and like you really take action in this, like, fearless way. And so the effect that you have on other people is that you really make other people want to do that same thing. Like, you are very motivating for people. Like, you really motivate, like, the people in your circle, like your close people, but also, like, just sort of general admirers, like people who know you maybe even from afar. Like, they see what you're doing and they're like, that's badass. Like, I want to do that too. Like, I want to be like that person, you know, like, they're so cool. They're so, like, I heard, like, courageous. Like, you just, like, people really perceive you as, just, like, very boldly going after what you want, and people really admire this about you, Pile 3. I'm getting that, like, it's something that, like, a lot of people wish that they, like, were more capable of doing, which of course, like, everyone has that capability depending on, I guess, their life, their circumstances and things like that, but I'm getting more of it in a way where, like, people specifically, like, where people the thing that kind of holds them back is more themselves, and, like, when they see you, they're like, it gives them kind of the push a little bit to be like, you know, I don't want to keep holding myself back. Like, I want to be like Pile 3, and really take charge of my life. So yeah, you're very motivating, very inspiring. You literally, I feel like there's like a physical shift that happens when people are in your energy. Like it sparks this change that shifts their energy and like pushes them into action. Like it's like a physical change almost. Like you're a catalyst for people, which is so cool. And I want to name too that like it's not always the easiest life experience to be the catalyst for other people's change. You know, people don't always like love being like activated into change, but ultimately your impact is really positive because these are changes that need to happen, you know, and it's action that needs to be taken rather than kind of like sitting back and watching life, you know, pass you by. It's like you encourage people, whether this is like something you actively do or just leading by example, you really encourage people to take a more active role in their lives, which is so cool. And with the 2 owls here, I am getting that like you really have a very strong effect this way on the people that are like close in your life. Like they really appreciate this about you. Okay, period. So let's get into messages from your guides. Okay, Spirit, what do you want pile 3 to know? Oh my gosh, that came out so fast. Okay, we have the 5 of Wands and the Devil is at the bottom of the deck. And then we're gonna get a card from the Super Attractor Oracle deck. I forgot to name this one, which is the Secrets of the Mystic Grove. All right, what do you want, Spirit? What do you want pile 3 to know? Messages for pile 3. Sure, we'll take it. I might take another one too, we'll see. Okay, all right. Okay, first message I'm getting, both of these have, I'm just seeing my attention's being brought to the plants in both of these cards. They really want you to get out into nature, be outside as much as you can. I don't know if you're like where I am, it is literally so hot, it's disgusting outside, but if you can, you know, try to get outside in like the morning or the evening or whatever. Whatever works for you, even when it is hot. There's a really great song by Annie DeRusso called It's Good to Be Hot in the Summer, and it has really changed my whole view on being hot in the summer and just like not being inside in the AC all the time. Great song, you should go check it out. But what we have here is it says, the more I attune my energy with appreciation, the more the universe will deliver. And then we have the 5 of Wands. 5 of Wands can talk about conflict. This can be with other people or inner conflict. And at the beginning, we had that message of kind of feeling unclear, kind of feeling like you're watching on the sidelines, like things are happening for other people, but not for me right now. It feels like something that could be helpful for you right now is really like attuning yourself to the things in your life that do make you feel good, that you do have gratitude for, the people, the, you know, little trinkets, the foods, whatever, you know, whatever makes you feel like little pockets of joy. Even having like a gratitude practice that can honestly make a huge difference. There's science behind it, it's real. It feels like the 5 of Wands, which can also be kind of like a petty energy, which I'm not calling you petty, I'm not saying that, but it is like, it feels like focus more on like the things that we're unhappy with than the things that are are good. And the things that we're unhappy with, maybe they're not little things, maybe they're bigger. You know your situation better than I do. I definitely don't want to minimize anything, but if if you do find yourself kind of like more irritable, or just kind of like focusing on like little irritations in the day rather than like the glimmers and like the positive things, like they want you to kind of change where your attention is going, because where your attention goes, energy flows and all that, and it's just gonna bring you out of this period of like feeling kind of bored and stuck faster, and it's also just gonna make the experience of like your life while you're waiting for movement more enjoyable. So it's sort of a win-win, because it's like sometimes like we really can't control the timing around things, and what really is in our control is just like how we look at where we're at right now, and I feel like that is like your message right now. They really want you to like own like your power, and like see who you truly are in the mirror, and then like really use that power to like, I'm also getting like you can manifest like little things. Like I'm just seeing this person with the orange here, and it's like maybe you like go to the grocery store and you're like, I'm manifesting like really delicious produce, and then the produce you buy is just the most delicious like strawberries or whatever that you've ever had. Like there's little, there's another reader who was talking recently about like how she manifests like little like positive moments of like when she goes to get her coffee. She's like, I'll link her below in the description. I'm blanking on her name right now, but it's like basically she's like, I'm gonna have like I'm asking for the most just like pleasant experience going to get my coffee. And then she's like, I go in, and not only is my coffee so delicious, but also like the interaction I have with the barista is so delightful, and we make great conversation, all the stuff. It's like manifesting like little moments of joy, and all you really have to do is like going into that situation, ask for it to happen, and then be amazed. So yeah, I feel like the universe and your guides, they really want to like show you these like little joys that you can partake in, but it feels like right now you might be like, or maybe recently you've been a little bit more focused on like what isn't happening, and that seems to like this person, and you look at them like they look pretty bummed out, but oh my gosh, they both of these have stars all around them. So it's like, this is your like current energy, and then this is the energy that is possible. It's like this magic fruit over here. Like it's like, and it's all kind of just like a mindset change. So yeah, cool. Okay, cool. I think that's all the messages I have for you today, pile 3. Thank you so much for watching, for being here. I appreciate it so much. And if you liked the video, if you enjoyed it, if it was helpful to you, I would super appreciate if you could like it, comment, subscribe. You can book individual readings with me on my website, readingswithhannah.com. You can also find me on Instagram at astrologywithhannah, and there's other ways to support me in the description below. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.